KFD-TV presents Gentle Giant with Pam Minnick and Katie Kaufman.
We've got a really big show for you this week. Pound for pound, the biggest horses we have ever seen. Our travels take us to Central Florida for the National Championship Draft Horse Pull. You might think of Florida for its beaches and golf, but this area near Ocala is big horse country, and where horse folks from colder climates love to spend the winter.
The Draft Horse Pull is held in a lush polo field at the Villages, an amazing planned community. We'll meet the competitors, learn about their beloved Gentle Giants, and show you the intense action from the championship when Gentle Giants returns.
Welcome back to Gentle Giants. Horse pulling is a competition that is centuries old. Who knows when one horseman challenged another that his horse was stronger or could pull a heavier load. For many of these participants, they're carrying on a tradition that goes back 3, 4, 5 generations or more.
It started out probably one of the longest sports that there is out there. It was one farmer saying to another farmer, "I bet my horses are stronger than yours." And that other farmer says, "No, I bet my horses are stronger than yours." To this day, 150 years later, us boys, and you never grow up. I don't care if you're 65 or what. It's all in fun. We're getting ready to have one of the biggest pulls in the United States right here at the Villages. It's the largest single home development in the world. And why it's so special there, you gotta understand, people that love to watch horse pulling, most of them are over 55. It's a retirement community. They grew up with this. They watched their daddies plow in the fields. So when you get a crowd there, they can remember their childhood. So they just love coming out, watching it, because they remember their grandpas.
Well, the Villages is always a good pull. It's probably our best pull in the circuit in Florida. I expect a lot of people today. A lot of teams are going to be here today, maybe around 40 teams today.
This is the greatest place to be if you have pulling horses. They make it so easy once you get here. It's one of the greatest places you'll ever come to enjoy the sun and enjoy draft horse pulling competition. What Terry Yoder does and the Southern Draft Horse Competition beats any equine competition that I've been involved with, and being an equine surgeon, I've been involved with quite a few.
Just the warm weather, the hospitality, the good competition, and you just can't get treated no better than you get treated here from Terry Yoder in Florida and his family, and all the people that you meet from the different states, the friends that you become.
I think it's right around 13 different states here, from New Hampshire to Connecticut to Wisconsin, Michigan, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana. I mean, they get Minnesota, Oklahoma, New York, the best of the best. Anybody at this poll here, it could be either in first place or 12th place. They can go anywhere in the United States and win, anywhere. It's going, the first 12 teams, it's anybody's game. The best of the best comes to Florida. One reason, they want to get out of 3 foot of snow, and the other reason is that they're at that age that they can get away, and they've lived all their life to be able to do this.
He's willing to lay it on the line for the horse pullers, and he does.
For people to travel from New York and all over, they gotta have a place to stay. And if you don't have a place to stay, it makes it hard. Not everybody's been as fortunate as I have been, and to be able to afford to come to Florida. And we have a party tonight to say thank you for driving 1,200 miles and being part of our organization here in Florida. It's just a passion that I've had, and there's no money to be made. It's the love of it. It's the people that you meet. It's the traveling, going from state to state, meeting different people.
Terry Yoder has a passion for the competition, and he's intent on producing a crowd-pleasing event here in Florida. He brought in a historic horse-drawn vehicle from the nearby Grand Oaks Carriage Museum, driven by Tom Warriner, to give us a royal introduction to the audience.
When Gentle Giants returns, we'll see what it takes to be the best. Stay with us.
Go in and you see my horses, you see the passion. I mean, I love it.
Welcome back to Gentle Giants. This event is sanctioned by the Southern Draft Horse Association, and there are two weight divisions here. Lightweight, where the team of two horses weighs less than 3,400 pounds, and the heavyweight division. The goal is to pull the machine 20 feet with as much weight as the horses can safely manage.
The lightweight, the horses weigh in at a combined weight of 3,400 pounds. They're just like any other athlete that wrestles in weight classes. We watch their weight. We keep them under where they can be weighed in. Now the heavyweight is what some call a free-for-all. And that means you bring any horse that you want to bring. He can weigh anywhere from 2,000 pounds to 3,000 pounds. So you bring your biggest and you bring your best, and it's on from there.
The dynamometer is an instrument that allows us to determine horsepower, and it consists of pulleys, weights, and a hook. And what we do is actually ask the teams to move forward, lift weight, and carry it, and we can determine their output, their horsepower that way.
The best teams in the country are going to be here, so we come down here from Oklahoma to see how we stack up with everybody else in the world. We drove probably about 2,000 miles to get down here, and it takes a whole team of us. I mean, there's 3 of us that come out here with 6 head of horses. It's an operation. The horses are usually our top priority, and that's with anybody who's in the horse industry. You take care of your horses before you take care of yourself. I don't have anything more important really than my horses, so I try to see to it that they have anything they need. I mean, whether it's hoof care, chiropractic care, if they need more vitamins or supplements, or their feed, they get the best quality alfalfa we can find. I mean, these guys really are pampered pretty good.
I think once you get involved with horses, especially horses that are massive as this, the power that they have and the things they can do, and they get treated like bodybuilders. They have all kinds of nutrition goes into them to make them as strong as they are. I have a little background in that myself, so that's probably what got me into it. This horse right here, his name is Perky. Brad bought him a year ago. We don't quite have all the bugs out of him yet, but he's definitely, this team will be in the probably top 5 in the country. They have to have a system to them. They really do. You can put 2 real good horses together that you think's going to do good, and they won't. They just have to be trained together, and sometimes 2 horses you don't think will go together are actually the 2 that'll set a record somewhere.
We've kind of followed in the family tradition of pulling draft horses, and here we are in 2016. I have 3 brothers. We pull under the Brown brothers, and we've been pulling horses since, I guess, I've been in diapers. My oldest brother, I think, was in his first competition when he was 8 or 10 years old, and we've been doing it ever since, and it's just it's a great sport. I'll tell you a little bit about what the sport teaches. It teaches hard work, responsibility, and as you'll see in the competition, teamwork. And so I think those are great family values that at least my brothers and I have learned throughout the years. The big thing about draft horses, it's probably one of the safest equine sports there is. There is nothing they do when they're pulling to make them pull harder. They have to do it all on their own. In pulling, there's no crops, it's just voice command. Nothing can be done to make these horses pull any harder than what they want to pull. So all that has to be done at home with your feeding, your training, whatever you do to make those horses pull harder in a competition.
Nice job. Mr. Charlie Brown on the line. Great job, horseman.
This is my main team, Rocky and Don. We pulled them for 3 years. I pulled them 42 contests last summer. Did a lot of winning. We got third yesterday out of 20 teams. They've been a great pair of horses for us. Rocky weighs 1,900 and the other horse weighs 1,800. We had to weigh them in under 3,400 down here. Just the love of the horses. I always say I chose horse pulling over showing because when they get done, the judge measures the chain and that's who won it. It's nobody's opinion. It's a family event. You do it together. Our son Jordan's here. He's going to drive one team. We got a young team that we're starting out. He's going to pull them today. So it's nice that it's a family thing that we do together.
Lots of power for the Hansen entry, ladies and gentlemen. And I say this because even if he were purple, he would be an outstanding horse. This horse is
The black horse that's here today, he's just unreal. I've never seen a horse pull like he pulls. He knows how to pull, he wants to pull, and he will pull. It's just, if he makes a stumble or anything, it just makes him mad and he goes that much harder wanting to pull. It's just, he'll lay his ears back in his neck and he'll shake his head and it's going forward. I'd say he's going to be very, very hard to beat down here. It's real unusual to see a black horse pull. Most people don't try him because most of your Perchins are bred for show. There's very few people that breed them for pulling.
I look for the black horse to be the favorite again today, so I'm excited. Excited to get to pull against him and excited to watch him. Well, it's very unusual about the black Perchin horses. As a rule, normally they're not as strong as the Belgian horse, but Josh has got one that breaks all rules. He's an exceptional horse.
Well, I've been on and off since I've been probably 14, 15 years old. Started with my uncle going out to his farm and he kind of got me into it, you know. And I just like being with the horses. It's fun having the connection with them because it's a different kind of connection, you know. I tell you, there's some things you can see, he's fidgety. There's some things you just got to let him get by with. He doesn't, once in a while, he'll know when he's bad and I'll scold him a little bit and then he'll stand and relax, but otherwise you got to kind of let him do his own thing. He doesn't like it when I park him. He's shaking his head, getting mad. I should have just unhooked him. I wish now that I would have. So he's going to be mad at me now for a day or two. His legs are all crooked. He's not worth a crap anyway, so we named him Junker.
Second place in the lightweight division went to Josh Wickham and Sons with Junker and Duke, pulling 4,200 pounds, 11 feet 6 inches.
I got second place pulling against guys that I didn't think I could ever even get close.
Chris Hatfield and Terry Yoder won the lightweights with Charlie and Dick, who moved 4,200 pounds, 16 feet 10 inches.
Stay with us. When Gentle Giants returns, the heavyweights take a hold of the biggest loads. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Gentle Giants. The supersize or heavyweights are the rock stars of horse pulling. These horses are strong and in excellent condition, and the owners of these Gentle Giants are passionate and proud.
We'll be pulling the stallion, Buck. He is a 7-year-old stallion. He'll weigh about 2,650 pounds. And we're going to be pulling with a horse called Charlie. Charlie is actually the horse that we bought the stud to go with, and we'll be pulling that team in the heavyweights.
We have a full pull for the Yoder and Hatfield.
We have another heavyweight team, SpongeBob and Harley.
This year here, my pick is, and it wouldn't be everybody's pick, but my pick is SpongeBob. SpongeBob right now, I would say, is the stoutest horse in the world. Now, is he the prettiest horse? No, there's other prettier ones, but SpongeBob has got the heart, the desire, and he's consistent. But SpongeBob gives you 110% every time he's out. Harley is 2 years younger than SpongeBob, and he's coming on. And as SpongeBob's getting older, Harley is going to take over. So as one gets a little bit more mature and these young ones come up, but when you put SpongeBob and Harley together, they work good as a team. They're all superstars in my eyes.
Usually the bigger the horse, the more advantage you have. My heavyweight team weighs about 5,200 pounds. They're pretty big, so the way the machine's set up, the heavier horses have the advantage holding the weights up and dragging the machine. So, well, I think we'll do good. I've been in horses my whole life, been around teams, never been into the drafts, but I got into these guys. I wanted to do it. I was in love with it. I've done it, made a bunch of mistakes. Draft horse pulling's like anything else, whether it's running race cars or any other hobby. I mean, there's always tricks to the trade. There's, techniques and stuff like that. So I've had to learn a lot of those on my own. It's a kind of a small community, and we all try to help each other when we can. We all want to beat each other, pretty bad too, but we want to be fair to everybody. It's extremely addictive. So I've had, I started with nothing. I've got, had as many as 14 head of horses. We've built a new horse barn at the house for them. You keep getting into it. If you love horses and love watching what they do, and it's awesome to see the power that they have to watch your horse perform and do his best, and something that you've trained and made into a horse.
It's not like us pullers go out and just get an old horse out of the field and hook him up and go pull. I mean, these horses are athletes. They're trained every day. They're fed the best of feeds, the best of vitamins, best hay. Sometimes we think we take better care of these horses than we do ourselves, and our health. But we try and keep a very healthy horse, a very strong horse. Some of the best teams that you'll ever see, there will be a leader and a little bit of a follower, and you can have two of the strongest horses, but if they don't make a team, you're not going to pull a very big load. And of course, you have to have a strong horse, an athletic horse, one that wants to pull, but if they don't make a team, you can't make it that way. I mean, you can do little things to make them better, but if they don't make a team together, you're not going to get very far.
Reserve champions in the heavyweight division went to Grover and McIntyre from Lebanon, Connecticut. This team, Moose and Tater, weigh 5,460 pounds. At 4,500 pounds on the dynamometer, they moved it 8 feet 8 inches.
First off, we should be thanking Terry and Glenn and all the members of the board for putting this all together. And then it's just a pleasure for me to be down here. It's the first time we've ever been down with our horses.
Yoder and Hatfield won the heavyweight division as well, with SpongeBob and Harley, who weigh 5,300 pounds. At 4,500 pounds on the dynamometer, they moved it 19 feet 5 inches. Congratulations.
We've had some adversity we've had to overcome here today with this pull, but it worked out, and the Villages is the pull that you want to win when you come to Florida, the National. So it's the granddaddy. That's the one you want to get. They're tops. They're tops in the barn right now.
It's been a good day. I mean, we all wish the track could have been a little bit better, but for the condition of the track, it was a heck of a pull. A lot of teams here today, we run into the darkness. It'd have been a little bit easier in the daylight, but I couldn't have been more proud. And Chris had the horses ready. He did a super good job. It could have went either way. Grover could have took it or we could have took it. So both teams took it right to the end, and I couldn't be more proud.
We want to thank you for watching Gentle Giants this time. Pam and I had such a great time here at the Villages in Florida.
We want to thank Terry Yoder, his wife Glendora, Chris Hatfield, and all the draft horse pullers. I think they had a great time and saw some real Florida hospitality. Even though it went clear into the night, boy, it was great competition. And also a big thank you to the folks here at the Villages. What an amazing community this is. Join us right back here next time on Gentle Giants.
And in the meantime, you can always see what's new on our Facebook page.
Bye now. Gentle Giants is brought to you in part by Total Feeds. With me is Dr. Harry Anderson, the founder. As we go through the draft horse barns, these big feet require a lot of care, but not just draft horses. All horses need a healthy hoof. How does Total Equine help that?
The first thing you have to have is plenty of blood volume going into any part of the body to have the nutrients be able to get there. But if you can increase that blood flow and have the critical nutrients, especially trace minerals and amino acids, the right amino acids, that tissue will grow very rapidly. And if you're doing that, you're getting a very healthy hoof with a nice thick wall. The sole gets thicker, and it's just a better horse all the way around because they have a better set of wheels.